guys, today I'm going to talk a little bit about the Futurism Movement, which is founded on three things, which is speed, movement, and time. And you can probably hear some movement in the background of my kitchen because my dishwasher's on. So if you hear that, that's what that is. All right, so what was Futurism? A movement in art in which a group of artists wanted their paintings to show, like I said, speed, dynamic movement, and the passage of time. It was developed in 1912, and some artists include Umberto Bocione, Carlo Cara, Luigi Russolo, and Giacomo Balla. And that is his picture on the right. Now, I wanted to point out to you something interesting. So this is almost like a time-lapse video. What is happening is there's a person walking their dog. So they have the foot of the person. It's kind of traveling from walking like up and then back. Let me go ahead and view it a little closer and you might be able to see it better. So the artists, what they did was to show the passage of time, they repeated it over and over. And you can see there are different values of black and gray here. So it gets darker for what's happening now. And what was happening in the past, it slowly gets lighter. So that's a unique kind of tool or idea that artist used to make it look like the passage of time. The other thing that's interesting is you can see this chain or this leash for the dog is almost like swinging back and forth, and they try to depict what it would look like over basically a time lapse. The dog, its paws are walking apparently very fast back and forth, and even its tail has been wagging and shows a back and forth motion. So this is a really cool image that does show movement and speed and time. You can see they put lines in the background to show almost this quickness to the photo, that these people are moving very quickly. If they wouldn't have added anything, if it would have just been plain in the background, it wouldn't have gotten that same sense of speed. All right, so the Futurist artists created what's called a manifesto, and it had all of these rules, and there were a ton of them there, but I wanted to just show you a few of them. So these were their rules. So almost like to be in their club and to be a futurist artist, you had to do these things. So number one, that all forms of imitation must be despised. All forms of originality glorified. That the art critics are useless or harmful. So people that judge art for profession, harmful, useless. Number three, that all subjects previously used must be swept aside in order to express our whirling life of steel, of pride, of fever, and of speed. So this was created around the rise of the time of the factory. So the people were very focused on production and how that when you had a factory, you could produce things very, very quickly. So that's what they're saying with steel and speed. Number four, that the name madman, with which it is attempted to gag all innovators, should be looked upon as a title of honor. Number five, that in the manner of rendering nature, the first essential is in sincerity and purity. Number six, that movement and light destroy the materiality of bodies. And a few more, but we're not going to watch all of them, or we're not going to listen to all of them. This one is called Dynamism of a Soccer Player by Umberto Bocione. This is oil on canvas at Museum of Modern Art in 1913. It represented movement and the pictorial equivalent of a machine. So I ask people usually, what do they see in this picture? And when we look at it, we kind of see that there are a lot of different forms, a lot of different shapes, a lot of different colors. And we look for the soccer player because most people are like, lady, where is the soccer player? It's called Dynamism of a Soccer Player. And the truth is I have no clue. We assume there is a form somewhere in here, but we don't know. But it's supposed to be in motion. You see a little bit of the green at the bottom of the field, and I think that represents a soccer field. A blue of the sky and maybe a little bit of the yellow, but this is in motion, and it's in so much motion that we can't tell really what it is. This one is called Unique Forms of Continuity in Space, and it's by Bocione. And it's very interesting because when you look at the figure, it is a person, and they're attempting to look kind of like they're running. It has this sort of waviness to the back of the legs, and I believe that's almost like the wind is blowing against their clothes. It represents the idea of the futurist. Usually, I like ask people this question, but since I'm talking to myself basically in this video, I'm just going to tell you. So it depicts speed because it looks like it's in motion with the way they have this kind of sculpted the form. It depicts movement because of the way that the figure has their legs, and then speed, movement, and time. And it also depicts time because obviously this is a specific moment in time because the next moment in time will be the person taking another step. So this is an example of futurism sculpture, which is different than if you were drawing or painting, but it still reflects the same ideas. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a futurist project, and you're going to see what that is in the next video. Thanks so much, guys.